South America is a land of vibrant life and deep history. In its southern cone, four capital cities pulse with unique rhythms: Buenos Aires, Santiago, Montevideo, Asunción are more than just points on a map. They are living museums, bustling economic hubs, cradles of rich culture. Each one tells a different story. Each one sings its own song. They share a continent and a common historical thread of Spanish colonization, distinct landscapes, diverse peoples, unique pathways into the modern world. This journey will explore these urban centers, revealing how they stand apart yet remain connected. Imagine grand European-style boulevards, rugged Andean peaks. Picture a calm seaside promenade, humid river city energy. This is the world we are about to enter. Buenos Aires exudes a cosmopolitan, almost Parisian elegance. Santiago, at the foot of the Andes, shows natural grandeur and urban sophistication. Montevideo presents relaxed coastal charm along its famous Rambla. Asunción beats with a heart connected to its indigenous Guarani roots. Not just buildings and streets. Dynamic entities evolving while holding on to the past. They are home to millions, resilience, creativity, a profound sense of community. From passionate tango dancers in the barrios of Buenos Aires to the quiet ritual of sharing mate in Montevideo. Life here is lived with an intensity and warmth that is truly captivating. We will see how waves of immigration reshape these societies, leaving behind a mosaic of traditions, cuisines, beliefs. Our exploration will be a visual feast. We will glide over sprawling cityscapes that capture their immense scale. We will zoom in on the intricate details of colonial architecture and the bold colors of modern street art and local gastronomy. Get ready for an immersive tour designed to spark your curiosity and deepen your appreciation for these remarkable South American jewels. Our first stop is the magnificent city of Buenos Aires. Its story begins long before the grand boulevards were ever paved. These lands were once home to the indigenous Querendí people, who lived along the banks of the mighty Rio de la Plata. The first Spanish attempt to establish a settlement here in 1536 was short-lived. It was fiercely resisted by the native inhabitants. It was not until 1580 that the city was permanently founded. It was a remote and humble outpost of the vast Spanish Empire for nearly 2 centuries. For a long time, it was a forgotten corner of the world. It was a small port town. It dealt mostly in smuggled goods. It was far from the silver-rich centers of Peru and Bolivia. The city's destiny, however, was destined for greatness. By the late 18th century, its strategic port location made it a vital commercial hub. It was elevated to the capital of a new viceroyalty. Following Argentina's independence in the 19th century, Buenos Aires began a staggering transformation. A massive wave of European immigration arrived, primarily from Italy and from Spain. They flooded the city. They brought with them their ambitions. They brought their traditions. They brought their architectural dreams. This influx of people and capital fueled a golden age. It reshaped the colonial town into a glamorous metropolis modeled on Paris, with wide avenues, opulent buildings, and lush parks. Today, a walk through Buenos Aires is a journey through this layered history. The city's distinct neighborhoods, or barrios, each tells a part of the story. In areas like Montserrat, you can still find remnants of the colonial past, with quiet courtyards and historic government buildings. But it is the grand architecture of the late 19th and early 20th centuries that truly defines the city's character. The elegant Haussmann-style apartment buildings of Recoleta and Palermo. They evoke a sense of European splendor, earning Buenos Aires the nickname, the Paris of South America. This architectural legacy stands as a proud monument to the city's ambitious past and its enduring cosmopolitan spirit. This blend of old and new defines the city, of European grandeur and Latin American soul. It creates an atmosphere unlike any other. The city's wide boulevards are not just for transportation, they are social spaces where life unfolds in public. Cafes spill out onto sidewalks. They are filled with people engaged in lively conversation over coffee. The magnificent facades of historic palaces now house government ministries, and museums, and embassies. This seamless integration of past and present is what makes Buenos Aires so captivating. It is a city that wears its history with pride, while constantly reinventing itself, creating a dynamic urban landscape that is always full of surprises. To truly understand Buenos Aires, one must feel its rhythm, and that rhythm is the tango. Born in the late 19th century, in the working-class port neighborhoods of La Boca, San Telmo, tango was the music of immigrants and the marginalized. It was a raw, passionate expression of nostalgia, longing, and desire, a dance born from the collision of cultures in crowded tenements. Initially shunned by the upper classes, its sensual power was undeniable. It eventually conquered the dance halls of Paris, and, upon its return, was embraced by all of society. Today, tango is the undeniable soul of the city, a cultural emblem known the world over. The tradition of tango is kept alive every single day. You can feel its presence everywhere, from the spontaneous street performances in Plaza Dorrego, to the intimate atmosphere of the milongas, which are traditional tango gatherings. In these dimly lit dance halls, locals of all ages come together to partake in the ritual. The music, led by the melancholic sound of the bandoneon, fills the air as couples move with a mesmerizing grace and intensity. It is more than just a dance, it is a silent conversation, a form of social connection, a living piece of the city's history that continues to evolve with each new generation of dancers. Beyond the dance floor, the artistic spirit of Buenos Aires thrives in its countless theaters and galleries. The city has a deep and abiding love for the performing arts, best exemplified by the world-renowned Teatro Colón. This opulent opera house is an architectural masterpiece, celebrated for its perfect acoustics and hosting the world's finest performers. But the city's creative pulse is also felt in the vibrant independent theater scene along Avenida Corrientes, known as the street that never sleeps. Here, a dazzling array of plays, musicals, and experimental performances light up the night, reflecting the city's intellectual and artistic fervor. Art is not confined to indoor spaces in Buenos Aires, it spills out onto the streets. The city is a massive open-air gallery with vibrant murals and graffiti transforming ordinary walls into powerful statements. Neighborhoods like Palermo and Collegiales are famous for their street art, which ranges from playful designs to sharp political commentary. This contemporary creative boom is also visible in the many modern art galleries of the city, showcasing the innovative work of Argentine artists. This constant artistic expression, from the formal stage of the Teatro Colón to the painted walls of a forgotten alley, is a testament to the city's restless, creative, and endlessly expressive soul. Section 1. The City Between the Mountains, Colonial Roots, and Modern Skylines. Leaving the Atlantic coast behind, our journey now takes us west, across the vast Pampas, and over the formidable Andes Mountains. Here, nestled in a sprawling valley, lies Santiago, the vibrant capital of Chile. Its setting is nothing short of breathtaking, framed by the majestic snow-capped peaks of the Andes to the east, and a smaller coastal range to the west, a constant, powerful reminder of nature's grandeur. This dramatic geography shaped Santiago's identity, a city living in the shadow of giants, resilient and aspirational, always looking up to the peaks. The story begins in 1541, when Pedro de Valdivia founded it, on lands of the Picuncha people, founded on a small hill called Huelén, renamed Santa Lucia. For centuries it grew slowly as a colonial town, development hampered by devastating earthquakes, and attacks from the Mapuche to the south. The heart of this past is the Plaza de Armas, the city's historic central square. Here the Metropolitan Cathedral and the Central Post Office building stand as testaments to Spanish origins and national life. As Chile gained independence and wealth from mining, nitrates, and copper in the 19th and 20th centuries, Santiago began to transform. The city expanded. Neoclassical elegance reshaped its architecture, reflecting national pride and prosperity. In recent decades, the most dramatic change arrived. Rapid economic growth produced a stunning modern skyline, especially in the financial district known as Sanhattan. Gleaming glass skyscrapers, the Gran Torre Santiago, South America's tallest, now share the horizon with the Andes, a visual dialogue of human ambition and natural power. Today, Santiago is a city of contrasts. Colonial history and hypermodernity coexist seamlessly. Wander from Lestaria's cobblestone streets, to bohemian cafes, to artisan shops, into the bustling contemporary core. This blend shows Santiago's journey from a remote colonial outpost to a thriving, sophisticated, forward-looking capital. The city's layout tells a story of survival and renewal, a community rebuilding after natural disasters and political turmoil, emerging stronger and more dynamic than before. Section 1. The Calm Capital, a history of port, pride, and progress. Our journey now carries us back to the Atlantic coast, to a city that shares the shores of the Rio de la Plata with Buenos Aires, but offers a distinctly different temperament. Welcome to Montevideo, the capital of Uruguay. Where Buenos Aires is a whirlwind of grand passions, Montevideo presents a calmer, more understated charm. It is a city defined by its relationship with the water, its progressive social fabric, and a palpable sense of community. Its story is one of strategic importance, a struggle for identity between two colossal neighbors, Argentina and Brazil, and the ultimate triumph of creating a uniquely tranquil and stable nation, often called the Switzerland of South America, for its peace and prosperity. Montevideo's foundation came relatively late in the colonial era. It was established by the Spanish in the early 18th century, primarily as a military stronghold to counter Portuguese expansion from Brazil. Its natural deep-water harbor quickly made it a strategic and commercial prize. For decades, the city was a fortress, its life contained within the walls of what is now known as the Ciudad Vieja, or Old City. This history as a fortified port city forged a resilient and independent character. After Uruguay secured its independence in 1828, Montevideo grew beyond its walls, evolving into the nation's undisputed political, economic, and cultural heart, a role it proudly holds to this day. The most defining feature of Montevideo is its spectacular Rambla, a stunning 13-mile-long coastal promenade that hugs the shoreline of the Rio de la Plata. This is not just a road. It is the city's grand public living room, a democratic space where people from all walks of life come to walk, jog, cycle, fish, or simply sit and watch the water. The Rambla connects the city's diverse neighborhoods, from the historic port area to the upscale residential districts of Pochitos and Carrasco. This constant open access to the water and the horizon gives Montevideo a feeling of spaciousness and tranquility that is rare for a capital city, shaping the relaxed pace of daily life. Today, Montevideo is a city that balances its rich history with a forward-thinking vision. The Ciudad Vieja is a treasure trove of colonial, Art Nouveau, and Art Deco architecture, its cobblestone streets leading to leafy plazas, independent theaters, and cozy cafes. Yet beyond the old city, Montevideo feels like a collection of vibrant, self-contained neighborhoods, each with its own distinct character and strong sense of local community. This blend of historical charm, a relaxed coastal atmosphere, and a strong civic identity makes Montevideo a deeply livable and welcoming city. It is a place that values quality of life over frantic growth, a calm capital with a proud and progressive soul. Gap 3.0. We continue our journey, and our next stop will be in Asunción, the capital of Paraguay, called the Mother of Cities, with its story of its Guarani roots and enduring resilience. We will travel inland, deep into the heart of the continent, to this old and profound capital of South America. We have arrived in Asunción, the Paraguayan capital situated on the banks of the Paraguay River. Asunción feels a world away from the coastal capitals we have visited. It is a city defined not by European imitation, but by its deep and enduring connection to its indigenous Guarani heritage, known as the Mother of Cities, a key staging ground for colonial expeditions. Asunción's story is one of remarkable resilience, surviving devastating wars and long isolation. Founded in 1537, one of the oldest continuously inhabited European settlements in South America. Early relations between Spanish settlers and the Guarani were marked by cooperation and intermarriage. That fusion created a truly mestizo society, where the Guarani language and customs survived and blended. The legacy is everywhere in Asunción, the indigenous past alive in the present. The city's layout reflects a long, tumultuous history. Downtown Centro is a grid of streets, lined with faded colonial and 19th-century buildings. Historic plazas like Plaza de los Héroes and the National Pantheon of the Heroes recall the nation's catastrophic wars, especially the War of the Triple Alliance in the 1860s. That conflict nearly annihilated Paraguay's male population and left a deep national scar. The architecture tells a story of modest beginnings, grandeur, loss, and recovery. Today Asunción is undergoing a quiet revival. It lacks the glitz of Buenos Aires and the dramatic setting of Santiago, but it feels warm, unpretentious, and distinctly Paraguayan. The Paraguay River is the city's lifeblood, vital for commerce, and centered on the new Costanera Promenade. The Costanera is a popular public space for families and friends gathering at sunset across from the Gran Chaco. Asunción does not shout for attention. It rewards the patient observer with history and a glimpse into the true soul of South America. Section 1. A tapestry of 4 cities, shared histories, distinct identities. Our journey to the southern cone of South America has revealed 4 capitals, each a vibrant world unto itself, yet bound together by common threads of history and culture. We visited Buenos Aires, Santiago, Montevideo, Asunción, all bearing the indelible mark of their shared Spanish colonial past. This is visible in the grid layouts of their historic centers, in the grandeur of their cathedrals, the official language spoken in their halls of power. This colonial foundation is the bedrock upon which their modern identities were built, a history of conquest and convergence that set the stage for the unique nations that would eventually emerge from centuries of imperial rule. Another powerful theme weaving through all 4 cities is the profound and lasting influence of their indigenous roots. In Asunción, this connection is most explicit, with the Guarani language and culture forming a central pillar of national identity. In Santiago, the resilience of the Mapuche people continues to shape cultural and political discourse. Even in the seemingly European cities of Buenos Aires, Carandí, and Montevideo, Charrúa, this indigenous heritage, whether openly celebrated, subtly integrated, or solemnly remembered, remains a fundamental and inescapable part of what it means to be from this corner of the world, a deep current flowing beneath the surface of modern urban life. Immigration has also been a powerful force in shaping these capitals. Though the waves arrived from different places and at different times, Buenos Aires was transformed by a massive influx of Italians, Spaniards, and Montevideo also received many of these same immigrants, which helps explain the cultural similarities it shares with its neighbor across the river. Santiago's development was influenced by various European groups, while Asunción's more isolated history resulted in a culture shaped more by internal dynamics than by large-scale foreign immigration. This varied history of migration added unique layers to each city's social fabric and its culinary traditions. Whether it is the ritual of sharing a warm tea of mate, or a tereré, a cold drink also made with yerba mate, or sharing the communal joy of an asado, or the expressive power of tango, or a candombe from African roots, or the pride taken in carefully prepared local dishes, life in these capitals show a tangible warmth and a deep appreciation for community. They are all places where art spills from grand theaters onto city walls, where history is debated passionately in cafes, and a simple shared meal can be a profound act of connection. These cultural values create a strong and unified South American spirit. We have reached the end of this journey. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to give support to our educational channel, Capitals of the World, the Joy of Learning. Until next time.